Hey, welcome to another episode of Wrestling Country. I'm Smith. As always, give me a follow on Twitter at Wrestling Country and give my other page, Wrestling Talk, a follow, as I'm an admin under the name of Smith. Myself and three other admins, we live tweet Raw, SmackDown, pretty much everything to do with WWE. We'll be live tweeting NXT TakeOver San Antonio and Royal Rumble this weekend. This episode is just mainly going to be about my predictions for each show, NXT TakeOver San Antonio and the Royal Rumble. I'm going to start with NXT TakeOver San Antonio. I think that this pay-per-view as a whole actually has a stacked match card from start to finish, and I didn't initially think that. I thought that this was going to be a hard pay-per-view to get off the ground, but they really showed us that they had the talent. I always know that NXT in Full Sail, they always have the talent to do great things, but when they first announced that there was going to be an NXT TakeOver before a Royal Rumble, I got, I questioned what they would do and what matches they would make. But now that they've released all the matches, I really think that this is a really good match card, and it could compete with Royal Rumble. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as Royal Rumble. This year's Royal Rumble is completely unpredictable. You cannot pick who's going to win at all, and it's just so, there's so much star power on Royal Rumble. But I'm going to start with my predictions for NXT TakeOver. The first match I want to look at is Roderick Strong versus Andrade Cien Almas. I think that Almas he's a very talented guy in the ring, same with Roderick Strong. I think this match, after it's all said and done, will be a really good match. These guys will complement each other very well in the ring. They're both so fluent. Roderick Strong just came to NXT, and he's already showed me what he has, and I'm ready to see him, under the light and in a pay-per-view match and see what he can really bring to the ring. I know Almas can bring it. I know Strong can bring it, but I really want to see it. My prediction for that match is Roderick Strong will pick up the win. I don't necessarily think this feud between him and Almas will end, because those two probably going forward will be, eventually be top guys in NXT, because they're both extremely talented, and they have the ability. Almas, I think, has the ability to be like the next kind of Hispanic heel that WWE has claimed that they've wanted over the years. Obviously we've seen great Hispanic heels in Eddie Guerrero and Alberto Del Rio. I think Almas, obviously I'm not going to go and say he's going to be up there with these guys, but I think that he can be that next top, Hispanic heel that the WWE has come out and said that they really wanted. He's got it. He's got the look. He's got the talent. He's got it all. I think he can be that guy. So my prediction for that match, Roderick Strong versus Almas, Roderick Strong gets the win. Next match I want to look at is Eric Young versus the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. I expect this to be Ty Dillinger's last match in NXT, and I'm pretty sure all the fans expect it as well. I think Eric Young will pick up the win against Ty Dillinger. Ty Dillinger will stand in the ring, have his emotional moment, get a standing ovation because this man deserves it. I think that we will see Ty Dillinger in the Rumble Sunday night. Obviously, a lot of speculation is going around that he's going to be the 10th entrant. Obviously that would be great. I love Ty Dillinger. I've always been a fan of him. So if he came out in the Royal Rumble, that would be great. Now, I thought of something that would actually be even better. Everyone's going to expect at number 10 that Ty Dillinger come in. I think WWE can really do something with this and troll us all and kind of maybe give him the 11th spot or something, do something funny. And then the fans, I think the reaction of him not being at 10 and, having a surprise entrance at number 11 or number 9, something close to 10 you'll get even more of a pop that way. Because I think it's more expected that he's going to come out at number 10, and I kind of hope they troll us and they give him the entrance at number 11. I'm excited to see what he does in the Royal Rumble match. Obviously he's not going to win it, but I really want Ty Dillinger to debut in the Rumble. So Eric Young versus Ty Dillinger, NXT TakeOver San Antonio. Eric Young will get the win, and him and Sanity will continue to roll through NXT and dominate pretty much anyone that stands in their path, especially with the new addition of Damo. So, yep, That's Eric Young versus Ty Dillinger. Eric Young wins. The next match I really want to talk about is the NXT Tag Titles, DIY versus Authors of Pain. When the Cruiserweights came to Raw, it was already announced that Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa were going to be on the Raw Cruiserweight roster. So I think here what happens is the Authors of Pain take the titles off of DIY, because I don't see any way that DIY can, defeat these monsters, because they've built these guys up so much that I don't think they're going to have them lose to DIY, because it's just, you can't, unless the only way I could see them losing to DIY is if they're just going to come straight to the main roster, which I believe they should have done from the beginning, because Paul Ellering coming back, having these two monsters, at his helm, I think if they would have just came up to the main roster and just, beat the shit out of like some random tag team or, anyone really, it would have been more exciting. It would have been more like, oh my God, what the hell just happened? It would have been more of a moment. I really hope that they kind of surprise us and have the Authors of Pain lose and then bring them up to the main roster. But what I think is going to happen is that the Authors of Pain will be your new NXT Tag Team Champions, and they will defeat DIY. Next match is the Women's Fatal 4-Way match. You got Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Asuka, and Nikki Cross. This one is very interesting to me because my gut tells me obviously they're not going to have Asuka lose the title, but one thing that I could see happening that I actually discussed with someone on Twitter earlier today, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, and maybe team up, they get Asuka out of the ring, maybe Nikki Cross, makes her way into there and actually pins either Billie Kay or Peyton Royce, and Nikki Cross gets the NXT Women's title. Therefore, Asuka still hasn't technically gotten pinned, and I really think they're probably going to make Asuka the first two-time Women's NXT Champion. So I expect someone other than Asuka to win this match, and obviously Asuka will get the title back eventually. So my prediction for the Women's NXT Championship Fatal 4-Way is Nikki Cross will win the NXT Women's Championship. All right, the last match of the night is a match that I honestly can't predict, but, I just obviously threw a prediction together. All the speculation of Shinsuke Nakamura being in the Royal Rumble, getting called up, being very highly praised. I don't think that it's his time quite yet, but I do think that Bobby Roode will win the NXT Championship here, because I think they got way too much in Bobby Roode, and he needs to be champion like as soon as possible. They can continue this feud and maybe bring Shinsuke up down the road, not at the Royal Rumble. Obviously, I don't think Shinsuke is going to debut at the Royal Rumble, but Bobby Roode and Shinsuke can be a very, very good feud. It can be the next, like, Samoa Joe and Balor, Samoa Joe and Shinsuke, Kevin Owens and Balor. It can be that feud that will keep going for another NXT TakeOver. Switch title holders a couple times, maybe not a couple, but Shinsuke is already a two-time NXT champion, so I don't know if they would make him a three-time NXT champion. So if he loses to Bobby Roode, then you would expect him to get the call-up soon enough, but I think the feud will keep going, and then Bobby Roode will get the win eventually. But my actual prediction for the NXT Championship match at NXT TakeOver San Antonio is Bobby Roode will win the NXT Championship and defeat Shinsuke Nakamura. Alright, so that is my predictions for NXT TakeOver San Antonio. Now, we move on to the Royal Rumble. The matches for the Royal Rumble are honestly very, very good and very well put together. Obviously, Owens and Reigns is kind of hit or miss because we've seen that match like 10 times, and a lot of us are tired of it. But, obviously Reigns brings it. Owens is a 5-star guy, so this match is going to be good either way. So I think it is main event worthy. Not main event worthy, I mean pay-per-view worthy, obviously, because Owens is the Universal Champion and Reigns is, the top guy or whatever they call him. So I think this match will deliver. Obviously, they're going to have Roman Reigns win the Universal title here. I do not see Kevin Owens retaining. The only way I would see that is if Jericho somehow finds a way out of the shark cage and, jumps down onto Roman Reigns or something, and Kevin Owens retains, but I do not see that happening at all. My prediction for Owens versus Reigns will be Roman Reigns will win the WWE Universal Championship. All right, next match. Adrian Neville, well, now just Neville, versus Rich Swann for the Cruiserweight title. I think this match is going to blow the roof off the place as far as matches go. Obviously, the Royal Rumble, nothing will top that. But I think Neville and Swann are two of the most versatile and talented guys in the Cruiserweight division. Heel Neville is just the greatest thing they've done in WWE in recent years. I think because it was unexpected to me. I did not expect Neville to come down and attack Swann months ago. Him, make a name for himself like that, because I never seen this side of Neville. Obviously in NXT when he was NXT champion, he had a little heel work to him, but that's kind of more of an indie feel. That's NXT. So I didn't expect a heel turn from Neville, but I love this heel turn, and I'm so glad that they're rolling with it. My prediction is that this match will be a 5-star match, and Neville will be your new Cruiserweight champion. Next up, we have Charlotte versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship, Raw Women's Championship, sorry. And this one, obviously, I'm a huge fan of Charlotte. Love Charlotte. She deserves to be the champion. She's not going to lose here. She just is not Bayley's time quite yet. I expect this feud to go into WrestleMania, obviously. But this match is going to be great as well. Charlotte, very talented, the most talented woman in all of wrestling in the world, and Bayley, who is extremely talented herself. I think this match is going to be a great match, and it's going to definitely deliver. And I love this feud with Charlotte and Bayley because they can make it personal, because they've been friends, they've been foes, obviously all of that good stuff. My prediction for this match will be Charlotte will retain, and this feud will carry over into WrestleMania. The final match before the Royal Rumble, John Cena versus AJ Styles. Man, this feud is literally just the most iconic feud right now. I really honestly wish AJ Styles would have been in the WWE 5 years ago, because this feud has so much potential to be one of the best feuds of all time. I think it is up there. Once this is all said and done, AJ Styles and John Cena, I think will be, in my eyes, a top 5 feud of all time, because the reaction from the crowd is exactly what they want it to be, and AJ Styles is pure money. John Cena obviously has been pure money for the past 15 years, and he still is. He's a big match guy. AJ Styles is a big match guy now. I think it's a win-win for both guys, even if AJ Styles loses, because John Cena's going after a record, and it just kind of gives that feel John Cena will do anything for that record. John Cena will do anything for that record, obviously. And I think he ties the record and he defeats AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble. John Cena will be your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. The final match is the Royal Rumble, which I really have no idea who I can honestly say, he's going to win. That guy's going to win. It could be Undertaker, Goldberg, Lesnar, Strowman, Finn Balor can come back, Bray Wyatt. I don't know. I read a report earlier that said Randy Orton could win the Royal Rumble because they're going to have Bray Wyatt win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at the Elimination Chamber, which that would be amazing, but I don't think that they would have John Cena win the belt and then have him lose it at Elimination Chamber. I just don't think that. Maybe unless AJ retains. If AJ retains, then maybe this just opens up a new, possibility for the Royal Rumble. My pick from the beginning was Bray Wyatt, and I'm just going to stick with that because I have no idea who to pick. But Bray Wyatt, I think, is his time, and he needs to be in the main event of WrestleMania because he's battled with The Undertaker at WrestleMania. He's had feuds with John Cena, all the top guys in the WWE right now. And Bray Wyatt needs to be a top guy in SmackDown. I don't want him to have the Wyatt family anymore, and I think that's what they're trying to do now with this whole Randy Orton thing. They kind of ditched Luke Harper this past Tuesday on SmackDown, where he attacked him. They left him in the ring. It's just Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt now. So I think that could be a possibility. I'm not sure, but I'm going to pick Bray Wyatt as the winner of the Royal Rumble, and I'm just going to stick with that pick. As far as like surprise entrants, I have 5 people that I really think are going to debut at the Royal Rumble. Ty Dillinger obviously is one of them. Samoa Joe is one of them. I think Kurt Angle's going to come back. There's reports that Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, the 19-year-old United Kingdom champion, they have parted ways with their indie, signings and their indie events, and they might be in the Royal Rumble. That would be really cool. As far as surprise entrants go, I think we might possibly see Ricochet. I would love to see Ricochet. It was rumored last year that he was going to sign with WWE, but he couldn't until the last season of Lucha Underground was done. I think right now is his time. Maybe even Kenny Omega can come from New Japan. I don't know, but I would love to see Ricochet, and I really think Ricochet / Prince Puma will be the guy that will make a surprise appearance in like the AJ Styles of last year, that no one had a damn clue that AJ was going to be there. His music hit. I was like what the fuck? Like, what song is that? I had no idea. So I'm going to stand by that because I made that prediction a few months ago that Ricochet or Prince Puma would come to the Royal Rumble, because Lucha Underground is they're in a split season right now. They're like the half of the season is over. So maybe they've already filmed the second half. Maybe they didn't film any with Prince Puma, and maybe he'll debut as Prince Puma. I think he's going to debut as Ricochet, because in the indie scene, he just burned every place down. He freaking tore the roof off of every building he was in. Ricochet is so talented. I really hope this man debuts at the Royal Rumble, and he is my pick as like the most surprising, not well-known entrant that's going to debut at the Royal Rumble. All right, so those are my predictions for NXT TakeOver San Antonio and the Royal Rumble. Like I said at the beginning, go give me a follow at Wrestling KOuntry. My name is Smith. Go give my other account that I'm an admin on at Wrestling Talk a follow. You can always find me on Twitter. We can chat, do whatever. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Show me some love. I'll show you guys some love. It's been a great episode, and I'll see you next week. Have a good one.